Okay, I am back. The battery went dead in the recorder. I didn't have it plugged in. Okay, I heard my camera turn off on me, so I can only assume where what I was telling you ended. I believe I was on this. How is it, as people who say they care about Willie Nelson, people can stay so silent and so out of this situation to not do a simple thing? Email Lana at willienelson.com. Just put Lana, that's Lana Nelson, Lana at willienelson.com. Flood Daddy's Willie Nelson site. Say, what the hell do you think you're doing? In television specials, TV shows, daily across America, drug addiction and the problems that brings into families are addressed with very ill respect. For a wife to separate a son from his dad, that, yeah, I love my dad. My dad loved me. But here's the deal. When I met Daddy's birthday for 2011, my handler, Cheryl Albert, said, "What are you getting your daddy?" I said, "Well, Daddy has every damn thing." I said, "But I'm going to bring some stuff." I said, "But the number one thing is I'm going to lay my contract out of Nashville before him. Say, Daddy, I signed for $2.3 million clear for 2 years. And I have the option that we will work with you on anything you want to do." Cheryl said, "Oh," I have the nickname Rowdy. She said, "Rowdy, don't do that. Your daddy wants to hand you your contract on his birthday for $1.78 million annual for the remainder of his life." Now, when Daddy got a hold of me at one of my shows, one day during some time I was doing another outdoor show. I have a half-brother. His name is Wesley. He works for my dad. Now, Wesley, you are a punk, as you have always been. We've been separated a lot of years. Wesley's paycheck, though it might say Willie Nelson on it, it's dictated by Annie D'Angelo Nelson. My own brother from my mother, we don't have the same dad, is too weak an individual to take up for me, stand against Annie D'Angelo Nelson. Let's get on track. Let me show you something here. July 4th, this past July 4th, if you will go to my Facebook, right there it says, let me read this post. Well, I can't read the poster in this print, but you can go to it. It is posted at Daddy's July 4th events. This has come to my attention a few different routes. I've sat on it. It says if I show up at my daddy's venues, contact immediately security and tour management. It says regardless, and it only says Eddie Lee on that poster. But anyone who sees that poster, which people do, they want to know what the hell this boy do to Willie Nelson. Now, we all know how Willie Nelson sits in that iconic format. So you take a redneck, you take a hippie, you take anybody. They've seen my picture. Now, I don't know that poster's up. I'm going to go see Daddy at a show. I walk in there and I get attacked. hey, they got to detain me for security. They think, oh, I'm going to prove to Willie Nelson I'm his buddy, his best buddy. Well, for one thing, there's never been one charge, nor would there be cause for, because I have never, one time, physically threatened, physically or verbally or anything, anyone, whether Nelson DNA or not. I have only exposed, as truth should take place, there's children, they're not daddies. They're giving me grief, and they are connected to why me and Daddy are separated. So, that's criminal in many ways. If you will read what I write on that article, you'll have to scroll down, but there's plenty of more interesting information involved in my site. I have the text from Micah Nelson, where him telling one of my business entities that I, Eddie Lee Nelson, am wanted by the FBI, that I am insane, that I am a nut, that I'm a member of this group of cons. The FBI is looking into me. Well, I previously posted this. It's hilarious when the lady says, well, my sister works at Quantico, and she contacted her, and she said there's nothing about this involved. Okay? Into last year, around June, I have the article posted, Is Lebanon, Tennessee trying to kill country music? Annie D'Angelo Nelson and her family, Daddy has bought up thousands of acres out there. They get to live the special life via my dad's income. I had Paula Nelson, Micah Nelson, Lukas Nelson all come to town over me when I'm just hanging out there while I'm doing things inside Nashville. It's a pretty community. There's many criminal activities took place during that week. Let's just see if I can wrap this up. How is it media is not airing my story? I have the emails verifying those who have gone to take my story. They have been contacted not only by the Nelsons, the other family knows who I'm talking about, in country music, which my daddy's money is vested with them also, via Lukas Autry Nelson and Annie D'Angelo Nelson. So they have told publications I'm not Daddy's son. They have refused to respond. They have told publications they would be liable for lawsuits. I have the emails where publications have said, we can't afford this loss. They said they're going to get involved with so many of our advertisers, sponsors, and an ad, that I will go broke. I can't do this. That from the editor. I am, in fact, Eddie Lee Nelson, son of Willie Nelson. There's those who have no Nelson DNA. I'm one lone Indian in a canoe, but I ain't just packing arrows, fighting a battleship. I gotta ask you again, America, Willie fans, what the hell do you think you're doing by doing nothing? You can say, it's not my job. Well, if it's not your place, do not ever open your mouth. You're a Willie Nelson fan. You got that straight from his boy. And if you can justify how the hell, when you will not see to it, Willie Nelson has his boy, and you still say, I'm a Willie Nelson fan, but I don't know about that boy of his, if he is, well, you're a damn idiot. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. There's things we can do. Share this YouTube. It's going to be in 2 parts. Share it. Explain it. Get this out there. One or two more important facts. When I signed for $2.3 million out of Nashville, when I made that agreement, due to the injury that I mentioned in the first video, I went from 194 pounds to under 110. Major injury, nerve damage. I actually, with the many things, because it was a poisoning that took place, it gave me the same symptoms as Alzheimer's level 1. I was very forgetful. Up till 2.5 years ago, it was still quite difficult for me to know what happened 3 months ago, a year ago, didn't happen 3 days ago. It's just how it works. The Nelsons, having full knowledge of my disabilities, defrauded me. They separated me from my dad. My dad is old. He gets tired. He forgets. Let's end the deception that has taken place. Let's just end it. Let's move forward, me and Daddy. This can be done. Thank you so much for your time. Nothing but God's blessings would I ever want for you. Do not give me statements, leave it to karma. That is totally promoted by those who don't want to pay their debts, that they go, leave it to karma. In other words, don't take action. Yes, I would have been in court with this years ago. Today, I won't expose that movement, but it's all thumbs up. But I did experience 3 different encounters where my attorneys were influenced. They weren't going to do their job. I'm not saying payoff. I'm not saying intimidation. I'm not saying, oh, we get to be friends with Willie Nelson, who was lied to. But what I will say is, at the get-go, when I gave my half-brother my bank information, there was to be $3 million, just catching me up equal with the rest of the children, deposited in my bank account within 3 months. I knew the whole time cycles, timelines on each check, which trust fund, which and what. There was up to or more $6 million in properties, ranches. I am a true Texan. I am a true cowboy. I am true Cherokee and Lakota Sioux. That was just putting me equal to what the rest of the children had. What was not equal is Daddy has never paid one child, you can Google it, over $64,000 a year in their contract. They run the taxes through and all this through other stuff. So when Daddy's own son showed up and it was going to be public, he was paying me 1.78. Compare the talent, compare the bloodline. Nelson. There was due cause. There was also the ability that me and him, the money we would make recording together. I have 9 hours of music I've written that's never been public. Daddy knew the truth. Daddy's business associates knew the truth. The problem is Annie D'Angelo Nelson knew the truth. That when the rest of the kids in talent are compared to me, well, boo-hoo. Well, that happens every day across America in competition. But to have me walk out of a $2.3 million a year contract to be defrauded and stolen from. And then my name lashed for it to take me 3 years for Nashville to understand that I really am just who I said I was back then. I had to fight for 3 years. At 2 years, I made a plan. Take Lukas Autry Nelson down, expose him. I did. Then take Annie down, out her for the immoral, horrid person she is. Micah Nelson is like a little doodle bug tootling across the damn pavement. I hit him every once in a while. And also, Micah, I know your source on the hats. Heads up, dude. Heads up. Okay. Now then, I said, me as a grown man, looking at reality, what adult will say they will let their dad, who is a drug addict, not just smoking pot, shit, I'm a proponent of that as much as whiskey or beer, but no, I'm just leaving it there. I do have the other details. Would let a drug addict that does not take care of his own business, whether he's old or not, but the bottom line is, why will I do without so the name of Willie Nelson can be this fluff that it is? We all know Daddy has never missed a guitar string. He's probably in the top 20 in the world as far as that musician guitarist. He doesn't miss a string. His guitar with the hole in it, trigger, he didn't wear that out beating his guitar. He doesn't miss a string. Consider this: Honeysuckle Rose, the era of this, the buses, the little bench, sitting there with your guitar. You're drunk, you're drugged, you're smoked. You got your guitar right there. You're hitting that bench. IRS. Google it. The facts to that case are sealed. They can never be exposed. Well, there sure are a lot of stories about that out. Well, if they can't be exposed, these stories cannot be the truth. Enough. Me and Daddy love each other. Daddy is deceived. Daddy is deceived. That's all there is to it. He's been deceived. He's old. America, why the hell are you letting my old daddy go through what he's going through? His heart has been broke. When your heart is broke over a child, you have to harden to survive. Annie D'Angelo Nelson uses her deception where she told Daddy I took all that money and told him to go fuck himself. That's the catalyst for where he accepts and knows Lukas has other singers on stage that he's lip-syncing to. Lukas has canned music that he lip-syncs to. Lukas is the most horrific drunken karaoke level style imitation of my dad out there. But when people believe you're Willie Nelson's boy and you're a little Keebler damn elf, oh, you're so cute. When they know the truth, but they say, but Willie's taken up for him, so all's good. No, Daddy is deceived in his deception because the Nelsons present to him that I'm mean to Lukas. There was one circumstance my half-brother was involved in it, telling me Lukas is bad, I gotta get in line with Lukas. Now folks, this is 6 years ago, under 5 years ago this conversation is taking place. That little Keebler fucking elf. He's a little spoiled punk, can't sing. He's a fake. He's Johnny Paycheck's boy. What the hell are you trying to sing like my daddy for? So, the same as you wear a wig and say you genetically, and you color your hair and say, You've got Willie's reddish golden locks. No, you are a fake Lukas Nelson. So, into my half-brother on Mama's side, relaying the message from Lukas Autry Nelson that he's bad and he's going to kick my ass. Folks, that is hilarious. We all know it. Pretty damn funny shit. But you know, I've been hearing that for so many months at that time. My brother wouldn't come off of it. I said, you get that Keebler fucking elf over here, and I'm going to beat his ass. I'm going to let him swing Kit whatever the hell he wants. I'm going to laugh at him. I'm going to grin. I'm going to let him bring it. He's the one saying it. I've never said nothing like that, had a thought like that. He's a little bitty tiny punk. He doesn't annoy me. I've had chihuahuas chew on my ankles. I don't react. I pick them up and pry their teeth out.